Post-Void is a game that looks like this. Any questions?
Yeah, actually. What the actual fuck?
In spite of the headache-inducing visuals, the gameplay loop couldn't be much simpler. It's a roguelike shooter where your only goal is to get to the end of the level at breakneck speeds, and I really do mean it with the speed part. Your health is rapidly draining constantly, so if you don't get a kill once every roughly 4 seconds, you fucking die. Run over. But if you do keep up with the insane pace, the game is also incredibly short. Each level only sticks around for about 20 to 60 seconds. And if that sounds easy, well, good fucking luck to you, because Post-Void avoids breathing room like the fucking plague. You're gonna be sprinting full speed through these distorted neon hallways as dozens of eldritch human adjacent creatures try to rip you apart for daring to exist in the same room as them. Every waking second you'll be strafing, sliding, and flicking to heads in your peripheral. Not because you're an unstoppable machine of war, no. You're much more akin to a mangled humanoid chicken who was doused in gasoline and lit aflame. This isn't a hedonistic slaughter or a tactical battle for glory and freedom, no. This is a goddamn bloody fight just to stay alive. And the only way to see that out is straightforward through the horde that you'll be carving a path through. Beneath the garish visuals lies a surprisingly effective unspoken language. The oversaturated environment, the zoomed-in and cluttered HUD, the cramped, boxy hallways with low ceilings, and the exaggerating skewing of the camera, all intentionally overstimulating your brain and pushing you into fight-or-flight mode. And hey, you may have noticed this game has a whole lot of nothing but fighting and flighting. The art style isn't something that was just haphazardly thrown in to make the game stand out more, however. There's clearly deliberate effort to build the game around it. For example, all enemies have color palettes that almost entirely lack bright colors, not only reinforcing their vibes of being monstrous and anti-happy, but also making them stand out against the backdrop. When on the edge of death, a massive 3-second timer starts ticking down directly in the center of the screen, forcing your eyes to realize that you are in do or die mode, without ever actually obscuring your crosshair. The firing animation for your weapons looks weighty and powerful, with big explosions that linger, bright flashes and lens flares, and exaggerated recoil. But the sound of the guns firing is tinny and weak. But you know what does provide a powerful, boomy sound that completes this puzzle? Brain stew splattering all over the walls. This subconsciously pushes the player to aim for weak points by rewarding them with an absolute dopamine factory, as well as, letting them progress through the game, because believe it or not, killing enemies fast is the best way to survive here. The goal point of each level is this refreshingly natural forest pond scene that is a very welcome visual and literal break that allows your heart to catch a break for about 5 seconds before you launch yourself into the next disgusting corporate hallway that is clearly trying too hard to seem human. The idol on the left that represents your health is definitely what initially stood out the most to me, but when you're in action, what's directly in front of your character tends to fade into the background as you frantically scan the corridors for your next source of fluid. So having the health indicator be this giant yet gentle glow that takes a hold over the entire left half of your screen is actually incredibly useful for providing you insight to how close to death you are without having to break your concentration. And you don't really need specific information about it either, just a general idea of I am fine for now or I am getting low. It may be easy to wrongfully assume that health is a vital resource in this game given how you're constantly fighting to retain it, but in reality it fluctuates constantly even if you're doing well for yourself. You cannot die if you don't see the countdown, so avoiding damage really isn't that important as long as you kill whatever dealt it to you right after. Everything comes together to make Post-Void insanely fast-paced, easy to pick up, non-committal, and insanely fun and addicting, churning out more dopamine during its approximately 5-hour lifetime than that artisan bowl of cereal that you're eating while watching this video. And hey, would you look at that, Post-Void also happens to be cheaper than it too. If I have to give some closing thoughts, I would say that Post-Void is basically ADHD heaven, and is incredibly refreshing to play if you're, say, in between tedious projects, or just need a little extra stimulation and adrenaline.